Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Arsenal ace now set to complete over 10 years at the club as a new contract reportedly agreed. In an era where agents are so keen to keep players moving and loyalty is at a premium, it's always impressive when a player manages to rack up a decade with a single club. Edin Ketia has been with Arsenal since 2015 when he made the move from Chelsea the youth system, and it now looks like he's going to complete a decade with the Gunners as a new deal has reportedly been agreed that ties him to the club until at least 2025. He turned 23 this summer, so we have reached the point where he has to go from being regarded as a prospect to actually making a major dent on the first team. But there will be opportunities after the departures of Lacazette and Aubameyang. It's likely that the move will split fans who will appreciate having a youngster come through the system, but he's yet to score more than 5 Premier League goals in a single season, and that will need to change if he's to see out that contract and potentially sign a new one. You have to think that there will still be a marquee signing who will come in and play as the main striker ahead of him, but there will be chances for Nketiah to establish himself as the second option, and he keeps showing flashes which suggest he has the ability to do that. Consistency may also come if he's playing on a regular basis rather than making late sub appearances here and there, but it looks like this is ready to be announced. Arsenal's asking price could scupper their chance of selling Outcast. Pablo Mari was surplus to requirements in the summer, and Arsenal agreed to allow him to leave them for Udinese in the January transfer window. The defender had been an important player for the club in the early days of Mikel Arteta's management, so there is no doubt that he can deliver fine performances for a club. However, the likes of Gabriel Magalhaes and Ben White have pushed him further down the pecking order. At Udinese, he proved he is a top player in Serie A from January, and now he has interest from clubs in the competition. AC Milan and Lazio are reportedly interested in adding him to their squad, but both Italian sides are being scared off by Arsenal's demands, according to Città Celesti. The report claims Mikel Arteta's side is keen to make as much money as they can from his sale, and they want to offload him for 15 million euros. His suitors believe that is outrageous, and they could turn their attention to other targets unless Arsenal lowers it. Mari has proven that he is a quality player, which should make him an asset to us. However, unless we want to keep him, it makes no sense to set a high asking price for his signature. If we keep playing hardball, we could be stuck with a player that we don't exactly need. Arsenal could now sell Nuno Tavares for 4 times more than they paid just last summer. Arsenal have told Italian side Atalanta that they will sell them left-back Nuno Tavares as long as they pay around £34 million as part of a loan-to-buy deal. Tavares only signed for Arsenal last summer. The Gunners paid around £8 million for the left-footer, who had an inconsistent season to say the very least. He did win the praise of Ian Wright last season, though at one point the Gunners legend branded Tavares as a fantastic player on his day. However, Italian outlet Alfredo Pedulla has reported that Atalanta want to take Tavares on a season-long loan deal for this season, and Arsenal are said to be open to doing the deal as long as the Italian club agree to pay around £34 million for the left-back down the line. Of course, that would represent a huge profit for the Gunners in such a short space of time. £34 million would represent a return of just over 4 times that amount they paid last summer. In pure business terms, it would make a lot of sense for the Gunners. In terms of Tavares the player, he's young enough to improve and be a real star, but with Kieran Tierney ahead of him and Arsenal looking at Aaron Hickey, his days at the club could already be numbered. While a loan move makes sense for everyone, the notion that a club will fork out north of £30 million for Nuno Tavares isn't half an odd one to entertain. Even in the modern world of high transfer fees, there is simply no way Tavares is worth that figure. At the moment, he just isn't worth it, and frankly, it's good enough to justify such an amount. If Arsenal did get Atalanta to agree to this one, then Edu needs a gold medal. Arsenal close to signing Aaron Hickey in £18 million deal. Arsenal are close to signing Aaron Hickey in an £18 million deal. with the Scotsman reporting that it's a case of when, not if, he leaves Bologna this summer. Hiki is attracting plenty of attention after continuing to impress following his move to Italy. Reports claimed that Arsenal are battling the likes of Aston Villa and Newcastle United for the Scotland international, and it seems that the Gunners may not be far away from winning the race. The Scotsman is reporting that Arsenal are closing in on a £18 million deal for the left-back. They add that the Serie A side are preparing for his departure, and thus it's a case of when he leaves rather than if. Arsenal fans will certainly hope that their summer signings start to arrive through the door imminently. It's definitely going to be a hugely important window for the Gunners. They agonizingly missed out on finishing in the top 4 last season, and the side who finished above them have flown out of the traps in this window. Of course, there is still a long way to go, and the international break is only just concluding, but Arsenal fans will definitely feel a lot better once they see 1 or 2 new faces holding the new kit at the side of the Emirates pitch. Signing Hiki would be a step in the right direction. He's surely an upgrade on Nuno Tavares, and he would have the ability to provide competition and cover for Kieran Tierney. But he can also play on the right, so it could certainly prove to be an amazing piece of business to bring him in for £18 million. It appears that a deal may be edging closer. Fabrizio Romano confirms Paris Saint-Germain are interested in Arsenal target. Lately this week, it was confirmed that Arsenal had made a £25 million bid for Sassuolo forward Gianluca Scamacca, who has been an object of interest for some time. The Italian forward is highly rated across Europe, and today there was further confirmation of that. Italian journalist quoted a Sky Sport interview in which Sassuolo's sporting director Giovanni Carnevali confirmed that he had spoken with the new sporting advisor at Paris Saint-Germain, Luis Campos. In that conversation, Scamacca's name came up. That news means that Arsenal now know that they are competing with one of the strongest financial powers in the game. It also may raise the price. If Sassuolo know that they can auction off Scamacca between the two clubs, although it would be difficult for Arsenal to rival PSG in terms of a contract offer for Scamacca. Mikel Arteta may well be able to convince Scamacca that Arsenal will align with his development better. PSG meanwhile already count Mauro Icardi, Lionel Messi, Neymar and Kylian Mbappe in their forward line, which might leave Scamacca on the outside looking in. Bayern Munich make Arsenal target available for transfer. Bayern Munich is prepared to cash in on long-term Arsenal target Marcel Sabitzer after just a season at the Allianz Arena. The Austrian has been on the radar of the Gunners since he was at RB Leipzig, and Bayern just beat them to add him to their squad. The midfielder has only been at the home of the German champions for 1 season, but it was underwhelming, and Sports Bild says they are now willing to listen to offers for his signature. The report further says they will sell him to any suitor that pays as much as the £13 million they signed him for last summer. This has placed Arsenal on high alert as Mikel Arteta searches for new players to add to his squad. Sabitzer was a top performer at Leipzig, which is why Bayern added him to their squad. However, the midfielder is now struggling to show his best form there, perhaps because the environment doesn't suit him. Mikel Arteta knows the skills that will be effective in his Arsenal team. The Spanish manager could still consider a move for the Austrian this summer, knowing that he can revive his performances at the Emirates. Arsenal have made first move to sign Lisandro Martinez. Arsenal have inquired about Lisandro Martinez of Ajax as they look to see if they can bolster their backline this summer. The Athletic report that William Saliba coming back from loan, the club could well have enough to go into next season at the back, but they will add another defender to Mikel Arteta's ranks if a good opportunity comes up, and they have asked about Martinez. Martinez is a left footer, which makes him more appealing to Arsenal and could offer more balance at the back. Martinez, former Ajax manager Erik ten Hag, has taken over at Manchester United and has been linked with a swoop for the 24-year-old that could lead to an intriguing transfer battle between the two clubs if they did firm up their interest. That said, they both seem to have other targets who are a priority at this stage, with other positions of the pitch needing sorting more urgently. Arsenal are closing in on Gabriel Jesus after a month of talks to be their new frontline striker, and they have also sorted a deal for midfielder Fabio Vieira, who should add creativity and flair to the club's options. Martinez is a very different type of player, having been nicknamed the Butcher because of his aggressive style of play, although he has never picked up a red card for Ajax. Fabrizio Romano shares Porto's statement confirming Vieira to Arsenal deal. Arsenal are signing Fabio Vieira from Porto for around £40 million, and Fabrizio Romano has just shared the confirmation all the Gunners fans wanted. Romano, who's everyone tried and trusted go-to journalist in the transfer window, has shared what he claims is the official statement from Porto confirming Vieira's transfer to Arsenal. It's stated that Porto will receive around £35 million plus more in add-ons as time progresses. Of course, Arsenal fans have been anticipating this deal being done all day after the news of the Vieira transfer broke yesterday. And Romano is as good as anyone for Gunners supporters when it comes to it being done. Vieira's name came out of the blue for Arsenal fans yesterday. After being linked with a host of new players, Edu has seemingly kept his cards close to his chest on this one and landed a surprise. For Arsenal, it doesn't mean their business is done. The Gunners are expected to sign another striker and defender, while Youri Tielemans is also expected to move to the Emirates from Leicester. Vieira to Arsenal confirmed, just what Arsenal fans wanted ahead of the weekend. Confirmation from the here we go man himself that the deal for Vieira is done. Of course, that name holds meaning in North London, and if Fabio can achieve half as much as his namesake, then he will have done well with the Gunners. Time will tell, but it feels like Arsenal may have got a bargain here. Portuguese players have done well over in England, and they will be hoping Vieira is the next to continue that tradition. Arsenal still want to go and sign Youri Tielemans. Arsenal still want Leicester Citys Youri Tielemans despite the impending arrival of another midfielder in the shape of Fabio Vieira. The interest in Tielemans has been common knowledge for a month now, whereas the deal for Vieira came almost out of nowhere. It may have been thought that Arsenal are in the market for just one midfielder, and that landing Vieira so quickly meant that Tielemans is off the radar. But the Daily Mail says that Mikel Arteta wants both men through the door to really boost his side's midfield creativity, which is echoed by Fabrizio Romano on Twitter. The report says that Arsenal have been unable to agree a fee yet with Leicester, but Tielemans' contract is running into its final year, and Arsenal look like the frontrunners to get him despite the impasse over the fee. Tielemans has been described as special by former Leicester City captain Wes Morgan, and it looks like a good opportunity to get him at a decent price this summer. Arsenal do not want to overpay, seemingly, which is understandable. And now that the international break has ended, things should start moving forward. It's a good sign that Arteta wants both midfielders in terms of his ambition for next season and Arsenal's ability to attract players without Champions League football. Arsenal now just working on a structure of deal to sign Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal are now working on the structure of their deal to sign Brazil striker Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City. ESPN report that the Gunners are now the clear frontrunners to sign the Hitman after months of talks over the deal. They say that Arsenal have not yet met City's asking price, but they are expected to put forward a deal which suits all parties. A first offer of £30 million was rejected, but Arsenal will submit an improved bid, and they are confident that a deal will get done. Arsenal's approach to get the right figure is expected to be a guaranteed transfer fee and then some bonuses added in there. Jesus is entering the final year of his City contract, but the reigning champions are not about to let him leave on the cheap. They have no financial pressure to sell, even though Jesus' exit looks inevitable with Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez already through the door. The Brazil international is an exceptional striker according to Pep Guardiola. Although, as mentioned above, he has signed 2 strikers to replace him. Former Gunners hitman Kevin Campbell suggested that Jesus is the best pressing forward in the world, and that fits into exactly what Arsenal need. He was excellent for Manchester City this past season, and it seems that it's only a matter of time before he is an Arsenal player. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.